Hi everyone. So my family night is called Animals of Africa Arts and Craft Night. I had it from 12 to 2:45. I kind of picked a daytime just because the age range that I'm working with is 16 to 33 months. So I didn't want to have it too late in the day and they're not in school yet. So I tried to make it on a day or a time that is more convenient for the kids so it's not too late for them. So I will be having my 3 activities are all going to be arts and crafts, and they will be learning about different animals in Africa. So right here is my flyer that I'd be sending out to all of the parents. It has just my main title of inviting them to come, and then on the bottom left here I have the schedule for the day, and I also included the links to the videos that I'm going to be having the kids watch, just in case the parents wanted to look at that before coming in. Right here I have my little help wanted, which is just asking them if they wanted to bring things in, that they are more than welcome to, that it's not expected by any of the parents. I will be providing all of the materials. I give my email and just give the open invitation for them to contact me instead of giving them a calendar or anything. I just made it easier for everyone so it's not a time-based thing. And then I have letting them know that their participation is necessary just because it is in arts and crafts, especially with toddlers. I did structure this for the parents to be helping out with the majority of all of the activities. And then I have a little optional things to bring for the parents. It's more of a helpful reminders for them, just because we will be working with paints and stuff that could get kind of messy. I wanted to give a little reminder of bringing extra clothes or a smock, just because it is after lunchtime, so I didn't feel the need to have food, but giving the option if they wanted to bring snacks. And then additional art supplies if the parents just had extra stuff that they think might be fun for everyone. So I will get into my materials list. So for my materials list, I kept it pretty basic by just having all of the different art supplies that I would need. So I did have cardstock paper just because we will be using paints possibly. I wanted to use more than printer paper just so that it wouldn't rip easily or anything, especially for my first activity, which I will get into. It's a little bit more important to have sturdier paper. And then, most of my stuff was paint, colored pencils, scissors, glue, kind of your basic arts and crafts materials. And then I included like a projector. I was planning on having this just in a general classroom, so that shouldn't be a problem. So here is my schedule for the day. I want to start out the day by just kind of giving a brief introduction to what the day is going to be and going over the schedule so everyone knows what to expect and kind of just know how long everything is going to take. And then, so I have my first activity planned, which is to make elephant masks, which I'll show you my tools for in a bit. And then I have my YouTube video, which is just the History Channel, and it's like a little information video of elephants, and it's animated, but it still gives live pictures for the kids to see. But it is geared towards around the age 2. And then we'll all be watching it together. And then we will go over the directions to create the masks. My plan was to have the instructions out for everyone to see, but I also did print off copies. My second activity, 1 to 140. The second activity is probably the most difficult. It's an African safari diorama, which is just print out paper of the animals in a shoebox and kind of making our own little jungle. And then for my third activity, I found a video geared towards toddlers of learning about the vervet monkeys and Rothschild giraffes. So we'd be watching that video. It's about a 20-minute video, I want to say. and then the kids will get to do drawing after that. And then I just gave some time for cleaning up and setting out all of the kids' artwork on display to dry, especially if they use paint. So here are some of the resources that I'll be printing out. On the left here is the elephant mask, and then we have the giraffe, a monkey, and then this is a picture of what the finished look of the diorama will be. So for my first activity, like I said, we'd be doing the elephant masks. First, we'd be watching this video. I can click on this link here, I believe, to show you guys kind of what that's going to look like. So yeah, this just kind of is a cool little fun facts for the kids to be watching. And then okay. After that, they will be looking at their instructions on how to assemble the color mask. So before actually diving into painting, we'll go and read all the instructions together just to make sure everyone kind of understands. Some of my materials would be the cardstock paper for the masks, just so they're more sturdy, tools for coloring, elastic string so they can wear it, scissors, hole punch, and transparent tape. The trunk and I believe the ears have to be taped on separately, which is why we would need that. And so one reason I really like this one is because I found an article that talked about how 2-year-olds often spend a lot of time in the world of pretend, like imaginary friends and stuff. And so after learning about the elephants and kind of how they act and everything, it would be fun for the kids to be able to wear the masks and kind of pretend that they're elephants in a sort and play with each other. Kind of give them that creative learning ideas. My second activity is the African Safari diorama. This one is the more complicated one and will require a lot of assistance from the parents, but there's a lot of the step-by-steps are really easy to follow, and it really goes step by step in breaking down everything that you need to do, which is why you need all of the paints and glue. This is a really cool website and resource of just free printables that I found. And so it gives you the supplies you need here. And then as you can see, it shows you all of the different step-by-steps that you need to do. And it gives you all of the printouts. Obviously with the toddlers, it's not going to look this nice. But yeah, my plan was to have all of these instructions printed out for the parents to be able to follow. And I kind of left it up for the kids to decide how exactly they want the animals, like location and everything, but that's not really in the instructions. So yeah. And then what I really liked about this is the collaboration that's going to be needed to complete this, because a shoebox is kind of small, and my plan was to have maybe like 7 kids probably, and realistically all of the kids would have like one animal that they get to color, so they kind of will have to work on sharing of if like if 2 people want to do the same animal. But it also gets them a chance to look at all of the different animals and see if maybe they recognize some, and if not, learning those new words and vocab. Even having like a fun little break of going over the different animals that we might not talk about and going back to it, I thought would be cool to have like for an additional lesson. And then for my final activity, there is this really fun show that I found that the kids get to learn. Let's see if I can get this for you guys. I just want to be able to show kind of what it would look like for them. And so it has the different chapters, and I'd be starting with the Varvet monkey. And then there's just short little things. But I think this would really engage the kids because it might remind them more of like shows that they like to watch at home. And these are all free on YouTube, so it'd be great for the parents to have as an additional resource for them. But what I like about this is, especially for the monkeys, it talked about illegal capturing, and it did it in a way where the children can understand, and it talked about the seriousness, but it was still very age appropriate for them, which is why I thought it was culturally diverse for them too, because in the US that's not something we see, especially with endangered animals. I mean, obviously we have some, but I thought it would give them kind of a more learning of exotic animals. And I found a really cool article that kind of talked about how, especially at that age when kids are learning to say things, I thought them learning about all the new animals might kind of spike their curiosity and have them try to say more words and asking more questions with their parents and their peers, which is why I really liked having the video. And then after the video, I had it print out what I showed earlier of the giraffe and the monkeys so that the kids can kind of pick which one they like the most, and then they can work either together or separately, and then they can just take all of the leftover materials that we had for this one, and so that they can do a lot of stuff, and so that like nothing really goes to waste and we're not getting too many supplies. It's just kind of like what's there for them, and so they can really be creative with it, especially because they can kind of color outside of the lines, and then once everything is dry, we can cut the shape out really nice and for them to display. But then it kind of helps them remember what they learned from the videos by having that visual of the animal that they really liked. And that's why I chose that activity. So here is a drawing of what the classroom I thought would look like. So I have just like the rug in front of the smartboard, and with like chairs if the parents want to sit, just because all of the stations will be done as a whole instead of separate stations. And then I was going to have a whole separate table for all of the materials in the handout, so it's more organized. And then just one big table where everyone can work together for each activity, so that in a way it's stations, but everyone is still together and like looking at each other and interacting. And yeah, that is my family game night. Thank you.